What's going on, everybody? Tim with Morphed Out Reptiles, bringing you another video on this new year we have here. So, as always, we want to appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out the video. We appreciate you guys' support on this journey. And yeah, if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button right there to stay up to date with everything going on. We got some pretty cool plans for 2026. But this is going to be a quick little video to basically go over and recap the 2025 season for us. We're going to talk about a few things that went right, a few things that didn't go as planned, go over some of the holdback animals that we hit, basically what our egg count looked like and everything. Alrighty, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's had a good holiday little break. And I know some of you guys out there, you guys aren't taking breaks, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed the holiday with family and friends. Everybody had a good time. Everybody had a great new year. Everybody's ready to kick this new year off. We had a pretty good holiday season. Can't complain. Spent some time with the kids, spent some time with the family. We're still going through a little bit of some changes here at Morphed Out Reptiles, so that was kind of a bummer, but we're getting through it and we're trying to stick to the plan and move forward. So as I stated in the beginning of this video, this is just a quick recap on 2025, basically what happened with us during the season. Some of you guys might not know, some of you guys do know, we're currently in another revamp mode for Morphed Out Reptiles, kind of slimming things down a lot more than I originally had planned and have been doing over the last 2 years. So that's kind of a bummer that we're dealing with into the end of 2025, but good things to come and better things to come. We're going to use it as a learning curve again and just try to make the best of it as we possibly can. So, but yeah, that's on another topic. So 2025 was, there was a lot of new things that we did going into the breeding season, and as far as the upkeep, and well, I don't really want to say upkeep because nothing really changed with the animals. It was more so Morphed Out Reptiles. Basically, 2025 was our first year that we did not do any shows. We completely didn't do any shows for 2025. We ended our shows, I want to say it was 2024. I think we did, we stopped like almost at the end of the year 2024, but 2025 was one of the first years that we went through in at least 8-9 years to where we didn't do any shows. We strictly wanted to gain a better presence on our social media and start pushing sales online a lot more. Some of the shows, there was a lot of changes at the shows, and I'm not going to say that there weren't tough times at shows. Some shows did better than others, everything like that. And plus, on top of that, when we started trying to dial more in on expenses and making sure that everything makes sense, trying to learn and practice a better business side of the company, the shows, we kind of really started looking into, we're doing all these shows, and then the expenses from the shows, hotel, travel, gas, lunch, food, whatever, it kind of just made sense for 2025 to cut all of that out and see what happens. Now, that being said, I haven't seen a negative that much doing shows. I mean, well, not doing shows. I do miss a lot of the customer interaction. I do like engaging with people face to face, but at the same time, we still did pretty well in 2025. We moved a good amount of animals online, a lot more local sales, shipping as always, and it was overall it was successful. No stress of going to a show, not doing good at a show, or counting on it. So that's always good to get that stress out of the way. No packing, traveling, packing everybody up, taking the animals, stuff like that. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I really like about not doing shows is, even though we slowed down a lot of the shows over the last couple of years, before we would do shows and we would have like a show one weekend and then maybe unfortunately, we have a show the next weekend. So it kind of sucks when bringing the animals, taking them to a show. You have to feed real quick, get them back. We have to quarantine and keep everything clean, and then we go to another show. So it's a lot of moving pieces that I don't mind getting away from, because then the animals don't have to travel as much. We can keep our normal feeding routines. Quarantine is definitely a little bit easier when we're not doing shows, we're not traveling everywhere with the animals. So there's a few things that definitely helped out with not doing shows this year. But anyways, I think in 2025, when we were going through our breeding plan, which I'm going to do my best to get one put together for 2026. We're already kind of going through, and I've been pairing a little bit so far, but 2025, I believe we estimated to hit 22 or 23 clutches. That was our goal. I think we paired for 24 or 25 females, but the goal was obviously less, and I was hoping to hit 23 clutches. That being said, the year is done. We have our final clutch was just, I think they're probably about 2 to 3 weeks old now. So that's good. The incubator is empty. We haven't shut it off, and we'll get to that in a little bit on why. But basically for 2025, our goal was to hit around 23 clutches. The final numbers from that breeding season of 2025, we ended up getting 18 clutches that were healthy. Everything was good with them. 18 clutches, I paired for 24 or 25. It's not bad. I definitely take those odds. 18 is better than 2 or 1. Would have liked to have hit the capacity of the 23 to 24 mark that we were hoping for. But again, out of 24, 25 pairings, I'm happy with 18. We got a couple clutches that were really big. As far as and what I'm starting to learn more every year as we go forward, I'm always trying to add new stuff into, whatever I'm practicing, whatever I'm doing that year. I'm always trying to gain new knowledge and figure out ways that we can make things better, everything like that. So we're starting to learn a lot more now and pay attention. It's not really about the number of clutches. It's really about what animals or projects, stuff like that we're working on, whether it's for in-house, we're breeding for ourselves, or things that we, are going to end up moving. We have to look at, everything that we're doing and making sure that everything's making sense. And again, more clutches, but less quality animals or less sought out animals, it's not going to be good, because then you're going to have a whole wall like this wall. You're going to have a whole wall filled with animals that are going to be hard to move. So we have to keep that in mind as well. So basically 18 clutches for 2025, that ended up giving us 122 eggs. So 18 clutches, we got 122 eggs, and out of all of those eggs, we also got 6 slugs. So we got 6 infertile eggs, and then 122 eggs that they candled. They all had veins. They all went into incubation. Everything was good. We did have a few different setbacks. I don't know if it was something on incubation. Everything that I checked, the incubation was good. Nothing changed. There were a couple clutches that some eggs just didn't make it all the way through incubation, and that number totaled up to 16. So out of 122 eggs that went into incubation, 16 of those did not make it full term through incubation and did not hatch out. Now that number is starting to get a little bit higher, because we started off with getting 6 slugs. Now we've already lost 16, so now we're up more than just 6. We're sitting at 22 animals lost from the year. So basically, now we're down to 100 that we made. We ended up holding back 7 animals from 2025. 7 animals made the cut to hold back and further our projects with those. So that was good. So now we're under 100. So basically, overall, it's not terrible. We did hit some pretty cool animals, and we've sold a good bit of pretty nice animals that we were able to hit during the season. So that's always good. But yeah, so out of 122 eggs that were laid, We ended up selling around 39 animals. As you can see, right behind us is our baby wall. You guys can see the MM market on the tubs. Those are all animals that are still listed. We still have animals to list, and we have 2 clutches that just came out recently. They have been eating, but they still have to be listed after they're ready to be able to be updated. But so basically we have around 67 animals left. We ended up keeping 7 for our holdbacks, which is this rack right there. We ended up keeping 7 holdbacks, so now we're down to 60 animals, and we still have, I think, around 15 to 20 animals that aren't ready to go yet. So we're not doing too bad. We're right around, I think it's like 38 or 39 animals that are available and ready right now. This being the beginning of a new year, we started out 2025, we got our first clutch on the ground in March. So basically from March to December, we moved out, and we're left with around 60 animals. I am trying to get on the track to basically have a year, and hopefully by the end of that year we are almost sold out. That's obviously the goal. We try not to make as many animals roll over to the next year before we get clutches from the next year. Just because we do have a limited space for baby wall. We do have other options to where if we get full, we can transition to 3 tubs per shelf and give us more space. But again, the ultimate goal is if it's not staying, we want to get it eating, get it thriving, and then get it out so that we can focus on the next year and continue on. Sometimes that doesn't work that way. With not doing shows, we definitely had some presence where we weren't, we didn't have a full weekend that we were designated to that, but with online, every day is designated to that. So we try to keep up with Morph Market, keeping everything updated, doing our photos and updating everything as we can, running sales or on the Morph Market for a couple days, or even running auctions on some lower level animals. But yeah, it hasn't been terrible. Things can be better than 2025, and we're aiming for that for 2026. A few things we're going to try to do differently and do better. Our breeding production is definitely going down from what it was in 2025 for 2026, but we'll get into that in the 2026 video. I'm going to do another video basically going into the new breeding plan and what's going to go on and what our goals and hopes are. So, but yeah, I mean, 2025 overall, not terrible. I can't complain. Our last clutch was actually probably not the best clutch, but one of our best clutches. We ended up getting lucky on a couple Hypo Clown combos. So you guys can go back to the channel and check out those the genetic results release. Those are showcasing all of our clutches. That's another thing that we did and started in 2025, and I really liked that series, the genetic results. If you guys haven't checked it out, please go back to the channel. There's a folder labeled genetic results. And basically that goes through each of our clutch individually, showcasing what came out and what hatched out. So it's pretty cool. I like being able to track that stuff, and it also gives me videos and stuff that I can look back on in a couple of years and see what we were doing. But I like it. We're going to continue on with that with 2026. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. We're going to try to switch it up a little bit this year. And now that we're getting used to our social media stuff a little bit better, that was one of the biggest tricks, tricky things for me in 2025. Trying to be more on socially, not just posting snakes on for sale on Morph Market, but also putting content out there. We do our YouTube, we have our Instagram, we have Facebook, but we don't really do too much on Facebook. But overall, just getting used to these different editing programs and trying to get multiple stuff put together and put out there for you guys. That's another goal for us in 2026, to keep on that and be stronger than what we were. But yeah, 18 clutches. We ended up with 106 animals that made it through the incubation. Not too bad. We sold a good bit of animals, and then we still have some that are still up and listed, as you guys can see the marks. We got more that are going to be posted over the next couple weeks, and we're back to being able to ship. So winter winter's not over, but our shipping window that was closed is now over. And as long as temperatures are good, we're able to start shipping again. So I'm excited about that. So please, if you guys see something, reach out to us, let us know. We'll hook you guys up and get the animal shipped out to you guys safely. But anyways, I don't want to drag this video out. It was just kind of going over a few different things for the 2025 season. Again, we were able to hold back 7 animals from last year. As far as favorite clutch, that's a hard one to say because we had 18 of them. There was a couple projects that we were breeding towards that were really good. The chocolate redhead hypo project, we started doing a little bit more complex stuff with that this year. Definitely, I would say top on my list is probably going to be the Kiki stuff. We had our first Kiki productions in the beginning of 2025, so we made a few visual Kikis, and that's a highlight because we're moving forward pretty heavy with that project, the genetic stripe clown stuff, and I needed some visuals to add to the amount of hets that we have, so that was pretty good. We ended up holding back. He's a lace double het hypo puzzle boy. So that was pretty cool. I think my favorite animal, if I had to pick one animal from the 2025 year, the Kiki stuff is pretty cool that we held back. But at the end of the day, I think my favorite my favorite animal from 2025, and it is a female, is going to be this gorgeous girl right here, and this is a Orange Dream chocolate red stripe possible yellow belly clown, 100% het genetic stripe, possible het axanthic VPI line. This girl, she was from the clutch that she came from, was one of those clutches that we did not get that good of egg count, and half the clutch went bad during incubation. We ended up with only 3 eggs out of that clutch, and luckily she was one of them, but she was the only visual clown out of there. So that girl is definitely going to move our Kiki project and hopefully transition into our Axanthic Kiki project that we're building. So that, obviously that was a big heavy hitter female for us. Another girl that she's actually from one of our first clutches of the year would be, let me get this, would be this girl right here. This girl, we believe her to be a blackhead Mojave yellow belly hypo clown. And this girl, she is gorgeous. She's been a little bit tricky as far as wanting to stay consistent on food, but she's doing good. She's eating pretty steady for the most part, but an awesome blackhead clown, hypo clown female. And as you can see, we got rodent in there right there trying to get her to take a meal. So he's gonna move around a little bit, but this is our lace double het hypo puzzle male that we held back. He's not too bad. He's doing really well on food. He likes eating, but we're excited to have this boy in the holdback rack and growing up. Excited to see what the white lace puzzle stuff ends up doing. This is another one that we held back, and this dude is awesome. I love his pattern, that dark dorsal that goes basically almost all the way down. Nice clean belly. Now this boy is from our Triple Super project with Orange Dream, Disco, Chocolate, and Visual Pieds. This boy is 100% het pied. We need to get him shed tested. I haven't done any shed testing this year. We had a few things that came up that just took the shed testing off of the priority list as of right now. But I need to get him tested to see. I'm pretty sure he's Super Orange Dream, but we want to test for the Chocolate and Disco to find out if there's any supers. But this is a pretty pretty nice mail that we decided to hold back to further the chocolate disco project. So pretty happy with that. But yeah, I mean, that's just a few that I want to show off just to showcase what we held back. Again, that chocolate female is definitely one of our happiest. I'm most happy about that female. Hopefully we can test her here soon and find out if she's het axanthic. But regardless if she's not het axanthic, she definitely furthers our Kiki project when it comes to adding more chocolate stuff into that, because I'm excited to add that as a dark gene into that project. We've seen some blackhead stuff, but I want to see what the twist of mixing in some chocolate with that and possibly some spot nose. So we got a lot of plans for that project moving forward into 2026 for sure. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to do a quick update for 2025. Overall, not a bad year, can't complain. Again, we still have plenty of animals left for sale, as well as there's about 30 some babies, and we still have, I think it's at least around 15 to 20 adults posted on Morph Market. So be sure to slide over there, check out what we got available. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to slide back through the channel. We have plenty of videos that we have out there for information that you might be able to use, or if you just want to binge watch and just have something playing in the background in your free time listening. We appreciate the views. We appreciate everybody watching, and can't wait to embrace the 2026 journey. So thanks for watching, guys.